Hello and welcome to County Courier. I'm Gail Whitaker. The purpose of this program is to provide York County residents with information about events, items of special interest, and the general operations of the York County government. Our topic today is the Real Estate Reassessment Program. Joining me in the studio are County Administrator James McReynolds and Real Estate Assessor Rick Millman. Gentlemen, thank you for joining me today.
Thank you.
Thank you. Pleasure to be here.
Mr. McReynolds, what is the purpose of property reassessments?
The purpose of the property reassessment process is to determine the fair market value of property so that the tax burden can be spread fairly and equitably among the citizens and the businesses of the county.
How is York County faring overall in its property values?
Gail, overall property values are holding up very well. As you know, York County is a very desirable community to work, live, and play in. We have great schools. We have good recreational facilities and services that go behind that. Public safety and law enforcement is very strong in the county as well. So property values in York County, while they're going to be down slightly overall, are relatively speaking holding up very well. We're expecting residential real estate to go down about 3 to 4% probably. Commercial properties we're expecting to increase overall, and in total that will mean probably a 1 to 2% decline in the overall values in the county.
Mr. Millman, how often does the county reassess properties?
We appraise the county every 2 years. This process takes approximately 18 months. We're in the finishing stages at this point. Notices will be mailed out the last week of December of 2009. On the notice that the citizens receive, there will be a breakdown of land improvements and building. When we say improvements on the assessment notice, that does not mean something that they've done to change their property over the last 2 years. It means what are the buildings that are on the property, homes, garages, decks, porches, that type of items.
What's involved in the reassessment process?
York County has approximately 25,000 parcels. We have 6 appraisers and 2 support persons to help us with the assessment process. What I do is I assign to each appraiser 4,000 to 5,000 parcels. They are responsible for researching the sales that have taken place in that area, developing their market area and researching the market. They then go out and visit each neighborhood. They attempt to visit each property. They look at the property from the street. If possible, if there's some reason that they feel they need to knock on the doors, they do that. If there's building permits, they get out and they measure properties for the improvements changes that were made to the properties. They check the condition of the properties, they interview property owners, and then they set the market value estimate. They're reading the market, though. They're not setting the market value. They're reading the market to determine what is the best estimate of market value as of January 1st of 2010. Like I said earlier, this is an 18-month process typically to work the 25,000 parcels. So some neighborhoods that were visited a year and a half ago, at the end of the cycle, the appraisers have to reconsider and take a look at those properties and those neighborhoods again. They may not go out physically to look at the properties, but they review the sales that have taken place and to make sure that they have the most current market value and that our effective date of January 1 of 2010 is applicable to those parcels.
Are commercial properties assessed in the same manner?
Basically they are. The goal is to get the market value of those same properties in the same way, but we do have to look at several different approaches on income properties. On the residential, we're looking directly at sales approach and comparable properties and that type of thing. Commercial properties, some of them we have to consider the income approach. What are hotel rooms renting for and what are their occupancy level? What are the expenses, the typical expenses that they have? We do the same thing for shopping centers, office buildings, the larger properties that way. The smaller commercial properties, we do those on a direct sales market approach. But income approach is very, very important with commercial properties. The investors are looking at what can they get $1 today, what is that worth in the future?
Let's suppose a property owner receives their assessment and they don't necessarily agree with the county. Can they share their concerns with the county?
We will be holding administrative hearings beginning January 4th and the citizens will be able to talk directly to the appraisers who handled their assessment, or if they have a more general question, they could talk to another appraiser who might be able to assist them, or one of the support persons. The hearings will be held through January 29th, and at that point, if a citizen is not satisfied with their answer that they received from the staff, there will be a Board of Equalization hearing that will be held at a later date.
Okay. Mr. McReynolds, what is the Board of Equalization?
The Board of Equalization is a five-member panel that's put together to hear citizen and property owner appeals if they don't believe that their property is assessed fairly or accurately. 30% of the members have to be real estate professionals, and of course if we have a five-member panel, that means that 30% would represent two who must be real estate professionals.
What's involved with filing an appeal with the Board of Equalization?
First, there has to be an application filled out and submitted by February the 26th of 2010. Once those are received, the Board of Equalization will hold hearings in March, and they will be scheduled, and each applicant will be notified of their date.
And after the hearing, if they don't agree with the decision of the Board of Equalization, where do they go at that point?
After that, they can go to the circuit court if they aren't satisfied with the Board of Equalization. As a matter of fact, they don't have to go to the administrative hearing or the Board of Equalization before going to the circuit court. Most people generally will talk to the staff first, then go to the Board of Equalization, and finally the circuit court, however, if they're not satisfied.
And how does a citizen get in touch with the county to discuss their assessment concerns?
There are any number of ways. They can certainly call the office at 890-3720. They can email the county, go on our website at www.yorkcounty.gov, or they can email at assessor.yorkcounty.gov, I believe it is.
Okay. I'd like to thank you both for joining me today with this important information about real estate assessments. And I'd like to thank you for tuning in to watch County Courier. If you would like to stop by the Real Estate Assessor's office, they're located at 120 Alexander Hamilton Boulevard, which is the second floor of the Finance Building in historic Yorktown. You can also mail the assessor at P.O. Box 532, Yorktown, Virginia 23690. I'm Gail Whitaker. This has been County Courier.